kawedo itare karimu 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 ona dionire Dorimu awedo ona dionire Dorimu diorimu joera 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 maito Nyamukera 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 maito Joera 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 maito Nyamukera 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 maito Tari karimu karimu kawedo itari karimu 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 onda dionire Dorimu awedo onda dionire Dorimu diorimu joera 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 maito Nyamukera 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 maito Tari karimu karimu kawedo itari karimu 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 ona dionire Dorimu awedo ona dionire Dorimu diorimu joera 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 maito Nyamukera 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 maito Joera 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 maito Nyamukera 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 maito Tari karimu karimu kawedo itari karimu 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 onda dionire Dorimu awedo onda dionire Dorimu diorimu joera 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 maito Nyamukera 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 maito
Hello. Hello, everybody. We are back. Olympia Blunders Chess. Special Saturday edition. We're going straight into our entrance vids here. We've got Van versus Elliot the Child is our first game. Van coming in, shimmying and shaking, getting ready. Saturday midday chess. I'm Funk. We got John in the booth for the first game here too.
Hello, everyone.
I think we're getting up there. Up. Elliot in the employees area runs this whole place, I believe. Doing the skip. I think this is the first skipper we've had this season.
It communicates some kind of bravado.
Yeah, that's what you want to see. Where going into the game, you don't want to be a healthy amount of fear is good, but you also want to be prepared. So we're gonna get started in a couple minutes. Like I said, special Saturday edition. I think this is kind of a chaos chess edition. This is all Division 4 matchups. We have some people who've been on stream before. We have an out-of-towner Olympian who is a Canadian. We have this is I think our first international player on stream. Jean-Yves, that's going to be in the third and final game. Jean-Yves versus producer Kelsey, which is actually they're tied for first right now in the standings. I think we'll have the standings up a little later, but yeah, that's going to be icing on the cake for the final match, determine a possibly new number one for the time being.
Looks like Elliot the Child's already on a screen.
Yeah,
put that away. Yeah.
I think we're going to see almost exclusively screen playing from Elliot the Child. The previous game versus Shane, we had I think Shane moved the physical pieces for both players, but that's the young generation. That's how they roll. So Elliot, I believe, also continuing with the thinking cap, seemed to work out reasonably well last time. Couldn't quite pull out the win, I believe, but that thinking cap that always helps in the chess. Van representing the rain, it looks like. Awesome. It's super cool. And yeah, I think we're getting set up here. John, do you have predictions for this game? I know a lot of the league players watch a lot of different games between different players. Have you gotten a feel for, how Division 4 has been kind of playing out so far?
Yeah, I think Van is going to be a little bit out for blood in this game. Wants a little redemption from her game from against Shane the other day. Van's got the white pieces, so I feel like she'll be set up for a solid game. Like I said, the Child looks a little distracted over there. I don't know, and the black pieces. So you never know.
Yeah, there you go. John with putting the money on Van right now. So we'll see how that plays out. Let's see. I think we're getting these boards set up. Got to do the technology part here. We got our normal producer Smashley and Kelsey on scene. We are coming from you, 3 Magnus, as always. Oh no Kelsey right now. This is just a solo Smashley jive here. But as always, coming to you from 3 Magnus Brewing, downtown Olympia, Washington. Come on, have a drink, hang out. Everybody's welcome. And again, trying to on our quest to turn this into the finest chess bar in the Cascadia.
I may have to dip out towards the end of this game. I'm at the Northwest Division Conference for the National Association for Music Education in Spokane, and there's a concert here at 2 o'clock, but my friend Doug is going to come and jump in smoothly at some point.
Yeah, terrific. Yeah, go if you're in Spokane, go say hi to John. Yeah, and we have Doug will be here for probably our final 2 matches. We'll see how this timing works out. we'll carry everybody along their way in this journey through chess.
We are almost ready here.
Yeah, we're getting looks like we're getting the final setup. There we go. We are underway. Game 1. This is still week 3. This is our second week 3 broadcast. We had our normal Thursday broadcast. If you're around on Thursdays and want to see some chess, we've been trying to be pretty consistent about getting Thursday evening chess from 3 Magnets going. But we have a special Saturday edition, week 3.
Elliot going for Alyekin's defense with just immediately attacking that pawn. Van just defends.
Yeah, and I think for the games I've seen Elliot before, he's a pretty quick player. I think see him make some fast moves, especially early on here. And these are, as always, 30-minute games with a few extra minutes for these live games. So yeah, that's why you see 35 on the clock. Plenty of time for most players in these league games, but we see some people get into a little time trouble in a few of them.
Got the 4 knights.
Yeah. I've had a lot of the king pawn openings tend to turn into the 4 knights sometimes.
I can't say I've played a lot of 4 knights. I had to do it one time against you, that 2-minute mess of a game, because you declined the Petrov defense. But yeah, here we are.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's natural. It's good for. I think players recognize. Developing those pieces early is a strong way to play, and the knights are kind of the easiest to get out there. So I think especially at this level, you see people developing the knights early first, and yeah, four knights is kind of a natural outcome of that. But yeah, Van taking their time. Yeah, like I said, repping the rain hat there. Van also featured on their own podcast, with some other people about their Seattle Rain. I believe that is on the Sounder Heart Network. So go check that out if you get a chance. I know we have a lot of crossover with the soccer community with this crowd, so soccer and chess can't go wrong.
They share so many commonalities.
Yeah, I think horses and castles, they're also in soccer, I believe, but
Right, yeah. It's also very hard to score in chess.
And just to be clear, Elliot, the child, drinking Pepsi, I believe. Not any alcoholic beverages here. That's what we've been told in the past. So, despite the brewery setting,
Yeah.
just a Pepsi, I think.
Not the 19th century over here, so. All right, Van's gonna go ahead and challenge the center after a big think.
Do you kind of in that 4 knights position? Do you like D4 more, because I know a lot of people play D3 as well.
No, I think D4 is solid. You played it against me, and it kind of led me to some positions that I didn't really know because I just never played 4 knights. So I think D4, whenever you could challenge the center early and just, get things out there.
Yeah, a little more attacking. I think, you'd see D3-2 is a little more passive kind of early on. I think sometimes people just kind of gauge what their opponent's going to do, so. Van takes that center pawn.
Yeah, I guess the idea.
Oh, I don't win. I'm very bad at this game. Very bad at this game. Obviously. Look at my last move.
So
I think the initial thought was to, she's kind of, the queen's attacking that knight, but it was going to end up either taking back or being able to be defended here. So it's just a trade. I don't think there's any huge downside here. So
Yeah, unless Van doesn't take the knight.
that's true.
I really hope Van takes that knight. There was quite a bit of time the other day when Van did not take a certain bishop.
I'm going.
And I believe they were catching up the physical board to match the digital version too. That you saw some shuffling around there. I believe that's what that was.
Elliot the Child is going after F2 pretty hard. Yeah. Completely ignoring the pawn recapture in service of the immediate attack.
But the knight now is undefended, so
Yes.
yeah, I think Elliot's style of play, like I said, quick. I think Elliot favors, attacking too. Elliot tends to look for that, where he can find that threat.
Yeah, Ben didn't find the capture there. So this is going to be a fork.
Indeed.
So now you got to move the queen out of danger. There'll be a loss of an exchange.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, Van will be able to get, in theory, Van could get both minor pieces for that rook. And kind of, I think the computer sees that as even right now in the long run, but
Yeah, I think the computer likes Van's general development a little better.
mhm.
Van also still has that extra pawn because Elliot didn't recapture.
All right, Van's making the move here. Queen out. And a quick capture
Yeah,
from Elliot.
So now Elliot's is gonna lose the two minor pieces probably here. Yeah. You strand your knight down there when you go after that rook.
Mm-hmm. Elliot quickly attacking it again. Oh, yeah, there's the physical move catching up. Oh, and Van immediately attacking the knight.
Yeah, probably not entirely necessary because the knight can't go anywhere. But you know, you'll have a little trouble wiggling the queen back out of there.
Oh, and a check.
Hmm. Elliot is doing everything to make Van as uncomfortable as possible.
Yeah, like I said, find that attacking move every time. Sometimes you can get somebody on their back foot, maybe miss a move, get a blunder,
Yeah.
and interposes the pawn.
Now you can take with the queen, or the knight.
Yeah, I think it, well, I mean, it might almost be worth it to take with the knight just to get some compensation for that knight. At least you get a pawn out of it.
Right. Then the queens come off the board.
That's, I believe, the longest Elliot's been taking so far.
Yeah. Would you have considered D1 for the king on that previous move, or would you have interposed with the pawn?
I think I probably would have interposed with the pawn. Like you said, I think Van's overall structure is a little better right now, and kind of just a quick look at the board. I feel like if Van could get that dark squared bishop out. Oh, and I don't. That is directly in line with that dark squared bishop.
Yeah.
See if Van sees that. But then, like I was saying, the queenside castle after that, I think, puts White in a pretty strong position.
I think Elliot's hiding under the table now. Oh, Van.
Yeah, and Van does see it.
Yeah, queen. Yeah. Right. We have some kind of bloodletting happening here.
All right, Elliot back in it, getting that phone charger hooked back in. It's gonna have to come up with some ideas now.
The last time I watched one of Elliot's games on stream, I told my wife there was a child murder, and she was at first horrified by what I was talking about.
Yeah. Freezing, I believe, yeah. So there's that, like I said, that knight, I think, lost. Getting a pawn for compensation out of it feels worthwhile.
Yeah.
Nah, now the queen's a little bit more into the game.
And I think Van is sitting pretty at this point. You could just bring that bishop back to like e3. You can queenside castle, even though it's not strictly necessary, but it gets the rook into the game.
Yeah. I think right now Van can almost just also kind of just pick off pawns, kind of continue that advantage they've worked up to this point.
Yeah, there you go.
Interesting. I think. Oh yeah. Okay. Attacking the bishop. I kind of like that. Just pawn takes g7 response. I think that's what Van decides to do.
Yeah, and then you can defend the pawn by capturing the h pawn here, and then you have like a passed pawn on g7.
Yeah, there's all sorts of trouble for Elliot, but again, this is a Saturday chaos chess, so I think anything can happen in these games. I'm not going to put my money down yet. And Elliot continuing to push pawns, but that leaves the D pawn undefended now.
Yeah, I think I'm probably, if I'm Van, I might be going for a quick checkmate here. So,
Yeah. Computer finds a mate in 5.
Yeah, well, it probably has to do with queen to g6 or bishop to b5.
Yeah. Or, I mean, queen takes pawn also threatens then queen to f8 after that. Then pawn can recapture and promote. And that's,
Right.
yeah. There's a lot of avenues, I think, for white to attack here. So,
You gotta move your base on the board.
It's always nice when the pieces are in harmony with one another.
oh, and I believe we're getting, getting a better audio from our players here. Producer Kelsey now in the building. Double producers back for Cascadia.
There she
Olympia
is.
Blunders chess.
That's fun.
I like that move.
Yeah.
More pawn pushes from Elliot. See if Van. I have a feeling Van might do that bishop b5 check you were talking about.
That's gonna be close to checkmate. Yeah. Because the king could only go to f7 after
Mhm.
that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the king's just going to be on the run at that point, I think. Yeah. Van can just keep attacking at that point.
You could also bring the knight out to d5. There's so many things.
There's that knight move, yeah.
This would give mate in 1 on e7.
Oh, I know.
Is there any way to stop that?
I think it's only delays at this point, really. Might actually have to move the king to f7. Just
Yeah,
kind of run to the side, but not only delays it. There's also, I guess the rook could just take the pawn. That delays it a single move. But there's mate in 1 if Van sees it.
Yeah. Van's got the takes with the bishop, I think. Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, this is still completely winning. It'll be mate on f6 if the king goes to, and the king has to go to f7, right? So mate.
Yeah, yep.
Bye. Bye.
We're getting wave 2. Very nice.
Well, come on. Stop making me stress about it. Just do it. You're making me think you're not gonna
Finish me.
I don't even know what
I
I'm
believe that
doing.
was Arnold Schwarzenegger's line from Predator. I
You
believe.
just planned a
Do it.
mastermind checkmate attack. And what are you doing?
I don't have a good Arnold impression.
Just do it.
I think I see it, but
Do what you see. I'm done seeing though.
I don't know.
Billy can't even watch at this point. Yeah,
We love the banter. Yeah.
it's good. I think I think Van. You gotta kind of look at every. The king's sort of open here, so it's kind of gotta check each square. So it's good to take time and make sure that your moves are what you intend them to be.
Checkmate. Have a checkmate in 1.
I got 20 minutes to think about it then, so.
Yeah, you have a fair point. Okay. Oh, I'm going to figure that out.
Yeah, I think when I was younger, I had a harder time seeing the mates that were right in front of the king's face sometimes.
Yeah. Well, especially, yeah, like I said, especially in these positions where the king has so many kind of moves after being checked or, or being attacked, that you gotta be like, okay, this one's protected by the bishop, this one's protected by the knight, this one by the pawn, and so, you gotta kind of do those calculations.
Then it's
Always,
phone.
always make sure you look for those, bishops across the board too. Oh, that man finds it. Yeah. Well played, Van. Elliot's trauma is over. That was game one. So I believe we're going to be doing interviews. Check with our producers.
Would you call that a miniature?
I think, yeah, we're getting Elliot lined up, I believe. All right, producer Kelsey, given the headphones. Elliot, can you hear us okay?
Yeah.
How do you feel after the game?
I made a big mistake and I messed up my queens.
Yeah.
I messed up.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, I can tell you, I hung my queen in two of the games in the last couple of weeks, so I feel your pain.
Yeah.
You seemed like you were kind of early on favoring your attacking moves. Is that, you feel like that's kind of your style of play that you like to go to?
Yeah, I try to just attack early. Try to attack everything early.
Yeah, and getting a little closer to the mic there.
But I know.
And yeah, it looked like I think you maybe saw the mate before Van. Did you think of resigning, or do you like to kind of like force your opponent to play that out and make them find it?
I was just gonna wait. Well, I could have waited 20 minutes.
That's why they have the clock there, right?
Yeah.
Over till it's over.
Yeah. So how's your live game playing experience been so far? I think this is your second game on stream.
I haven't been doing terrible, I don't think. But
I didn't quite make that out. I think maybe we're having some mic issues.
yeah. Yeah. That. Well, it's just. I hear somebody breathing.
Oh, sorry. I don't know if we're coming through on that.
All right.
Apologies if you're picking that up.
I don't know.
Yes. So live games. Do you like just playing by yourself at home on the computer better, or are you enjoying these live matchups?
I'm enjoying it. Kind of fun. I can actually talk instead of just sitting
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, the banter, right?
Yeah.
People think you're one of the better banterers. Do you agree?
Maybe, I don't know.
Well, awesome. Yeah, again, a game didn't go your way, but I think people watching, we really like your attacking style. That free flow play, it's really fun to watch. So hopefully we'll see you in some more games soon.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Thanks again, Elliot. And now I believe Van. Yes. The victor, Van.
Let me get this thing up here.
Yeah.
New equipment. I don't know.
Yeah.
How we doing?
Congratulations.
Thank you. I feel very good about it, and also terrible for making a child sad.
Terrible, man.
I made a child sad.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, are you in the camp that you need to give children a little leeway, or do you think
Hell
that
no.
children should just learn by being forced to compete at the highest level?
This is not the highest level, number one. Number two, I was due for a good game, and I was having it, and so I took advantage of it. But I will give kudos to him, though. At the end of the game, he was like, "Oh man, you got checkmate in one," and I was like, "Oh, I don't see it." And
So he might have given up a little advantage there by
Oh, for
with
sure.
the banter, huh?
yeah, that's a non-chess lesson, I think. But I was like, well, I got 20 minutes to figure it out, so.
Yeah, there you go.
He was,
Oh yeah, John's here. Go ahead, John.
yeah, hey Ben. He was pressuring your f2 pawn for a bit there and forked your queen and rook. Were you feeling the pressure there?
Yeah, a little bit. I was kind of wondering what I needed to do, but being able to get that, I lost the bishop or the rook pretty early on, but I knew that once I got the queen out and moved it back, it was going to be stuck there for a minute. So I thought I was going to be okay. I didn't feel too pressured.
Yeah, I think maybe I don't even know how much that actually hurt you, but yeah, I'd say your play was quite solid all the way around, especially at the end there. I think kind of setting up that mate and attacking. It was just the sequence a really great move. So kudos for that.
Thank you. What a difference 3 days makes after my aptly blunder of a game on Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah, maybe. Do you think it's just earlier in the day, playing maybe a little fresher? Might help?
Yeah, I have not had a beer, so I am fresh. I ate a hearty breakfast this morning. I was prepared.
Awesome. Well, now you can have a beer if you want, right?
It's a little early for me. I'm old enough that I'll need to go to bed pretty soon if that happens.
Awesome. Well, congratulations again. Like I said, well played. I think it's definitely on stream the strongest game we've seen from you so far. So, yeah.
Excellent. I hope I can keep it up.
Yeah. Awesome. So I think we've got a.
Thanks, you guys.
Yeah. Thank you, Ben. Oh, we're doing sorry, folks. We're going to do also a pregame interview. We have Jean-Yves here.
Who are these people?
Down. This is Funk. And we've also got John in the booth right now. I think Doug may be joining us also. John,
I'm here.
John, I think, may be leaving soon as well. So pregame interview. I think you're coming up, not the next game. We got one more game before yours. But you're playing in the Olympia Blunders Chess League, but you are Canadian. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yep.
Are there any different rules for Canadian chess that you've had to, adapt to now that you're playing?
Like stalemates.
Normal chess.
Stalemates. That rule's silly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's like
Canadians really figured that one out, right? Made it more exciting.
there has to be a better way.
Yeah. John, I think is about to run, but John, do you have any questions in preparation for Jean-Yves' upcoming game here?
Are you playing producer Kelsey today?
Yes. Yeah, I am. I'm kind of nervous for it, actually.
For number one.
Yeah. Are you?
Yeah, I kind of like
Yeah,
being
you
number one.
worried?
I just wanted the series to end right now. That'd be awesome.
Are you worried that because she's producing the event that there's some sort of overall production advantage happening?
Absolutely.
That. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. there has to be, right?
This is an away game.
Yeah. Yeah. Plus, I had to travel. The time
that's
time
true.
difference is totally just screwing me up.
Have you done any different prep from your normal just internet games now that you've had to travel live game? Is there any things you've done just getting ready for this one?
Just from the randos I've been playing. I'm actually quite distracted, to tell you the truth. I don't really care about chess today. if you guys didn't know, Team Canada's playing the U.S., so my mind is elsewhere.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
So potentially Kelsey, you got to be careful. I think if she shouts maybe something like, "Oh, what a goal! What a shot by, let's say Crosby," that might throw you off your whole game.
It's kind of hard to beat Crosby, but yeah, I'm good. I've come prepared.
Right now.
Who even is that? No, yeah, if she screens by Crosby, like that might be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or like McKinnon or McDavid or yeah. Oh, sorry, my pawn, my knight, and my rook. Sorry.
That's right. Oh yeah. For translation, thank you for our American viewers.
Yeah. Sorry. Thanks. Okay, I'm done.
Awesome. Well, there's your pregame interview, John Eves. Good luck coming up.
Thanks.
Yeah, we'll be seeing John Eves play in just a second.
No, at the end. I think I'm the finale.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and after this game.
Yeah, we got the Happy Meal kid playing now, I think.
There you go.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, John Eves. Awesome. I think we're doing a little intermission here. We might take a small break. I'm checking with the producers here.
All right.
Yeah, we'll be back in a second. I think. Yeah, John, you're heading off.
Over here in Spokane.
Yeah. Thank you, as always, for joining us. Appreciate your insights and enjoy your show.
Yeah. Take care, everyone.
All right. We'll be right back, everybody. Saturday Chaos Chess Edition. We have game 2. This is going to be Shane versus Joe. We all Division 4 matchups for this. We got Doug here on the commentary with me. John replacing John for the rest of the games. How you doing, Doug?
Oh, okay. Having a good afternoon here. Fun to watch a little chaos chess.
Indeed. I think we are getting straight into the game, it looks like. Shane playing black pieces today. Joe playing the white pieces. And yeah, we're underway. Queen's pawn opening.
That's the one I like, but you prefer a different one.
I like King's Pawn, but I think it's just more, you don't play something as much, you get used to something.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe appreciate it more in my older age. But yeah, in my youth, I didn't like it. Didn't like it one bit. But yeah, so we have Shane here in 3rd place in the league right now. Could move up into a brief tie for first. 3-way tie for first, but that will be broken in some manner in our 3rd game today, which features the 1 and 2 matchups. And as always, coming to you from 3 Magnus Brewing, live, back room. Looks like both players drinking a beer, I believe. Might be able to figure out what they're drinking later on.
See, Shane's hiding behind his Happy Meal there, but
yeah, some kind of food thing from I don't know. Can we even say what that is from? I'm not sure we have the right sponsorship deal set up to from the corporate fast food chain. Some sort of meal, some sort of enjoyable meal.
Probably a convenience thing for Shane because Akashic, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. We tracked it there. Fantastic. No. But
I think you might have been breaking up a little bit there, Doug, but
let's see if I can. All right, hopefully this is a little better.
Yeah,
now it's my turn to have microphone trouble. Great.
You're right. We'll get the audio sorted out one day, folks.
Great.
All right, pretty quick moves here to start. Shane coming out attacking, pinning that knight to the queen.
We got the 4 knights out, just like last previous game.
Joe immediately attacks back.
You made that move fast.
Yeah, I didn't consider that.
Got the banter going as well.
It's a friendly atmosphere. The face-to-face really makes it a more personable game.
Yeah, agreed.
It is definitely a community building here around chess at 3.
All right, so we got the knight moving to the middle there. A little bit of an attack on Joe's kingside knight, but not a terrible threat or anything right now.
Who's gonna draw first blood?
A lot of early action right there in the middle of the board. The thing with Shane, I've seen in his game, definite improvement over time, but sometimes it feels chaotic in the beginning, and then he's got something set up that it just so clever. So
yeah, I think I've seen a fair amount of Shane's games now, and I do think he's got a really great tactical acumen for the game. I feel like his weakness a lot of times is he does get distracted almost. I think if a game kind of draws on, he can lose focus a little bit. So playing faster might kind of benefit him if his opponent is making quick moves.
So Joe brings that queen out pretty early.
Mm-hmm.
This is aggressive.
Yeah, there is a little risk here. If Joe's not careful, Shane has a potential series of moves where he could have gotten a fork. I think that's probably not going to happen now, but okay, he's going for checks. Yeah, so
Early check. Yeah.
that threat abated, but yeah, we'll see how Shane responds.
I mean, probably not trading queen, so if he moves that pawn up, he's going to lose.
Yeah, it just interposes for now.
I guess I'm gonna move the horse either. But we will have a good queen sacrifice.
I think the risk for Shane right now is Joe, if he plays his white squared bishop
Will
to
he do
b5.
Sacrifice the crown for the peasants.
Right, that. Yeah.
Causes a little bit of trouble there. We'll see though. There's defenses, but yeah, I think we're gonna get some good action here in the next few moves for sure. Yeah, he does do it.
Slut.
I think Shane has to probably move that knight in between, but then the pawn is attacking that square too, so Joe could just take it with that pawn.
Mm-hmm.
That just kills time.
Joe earned a little sip of beer after that move. I think he thought that one.
Yeah, and I think we might get some info on what exactly our players are drinking from our producers. See if we can figure that out.
Yeah. So many good options. They usually have 7 or 8 choices on tap, not counting the non-alcoholic options.
Yeah, and I believe
I'm drinking a red ale. Felling, I think. Felling red ale.
Felling red, yes.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Felling red.
There you go.
I have the summer blonde.
Summer
It is a
blonde.
blonde.
Jane Bucking Convention, summer beer in winter. But
That's right.
you know,
I just learned
they are delicious beers, so summer beer in winter. But I'll accept it.
Sometimes you need a little bit of summer in midwinter.
Yeah.
Oh, and so Shane goes with the castle. I haven't thought about that.
Oh,
either.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, this. Oh wow. Okay. I think he could have just taken the queen there, but he opts to take the pawn. To some
Yeah, that's
check
right, that was-
threat. I mean, the queen's still in pretty hard position. He can't take that bishop back. It's defended by the knight.
That's right.
It's not many squares it can move to, and even if it does move, there's a lot less protection for that king. So Joe's still in a very strong position.
The computer agrees. That slider bar is way heavy on Joe.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot more opportunities for Shane to make a mistake right now.
Yeah.
probably a bad move.
Yep. So that queen goes out into the middle of the board.
Because otherwise, this guy
See
would
if-
just have a field day. It would be great.
Out of immediate trouble, but still.
Yeah. Now the king is under threat the most, I think.
Here.
Are you thinking moving the white queen to the back row?
Real question is, what piece do
Flushing
you
the king
wanna
out?
take first?
I'm looking at that. I think it looks like a good start, but I'm not sure there's like a killer follow-up move.
Yeah.
So it might actually be better
Fine strategy.
to kind
Not
of
my
do a
favorite.
setup move, something like knight a4, kind of prepping it. Oh yeah, further attacking the queen. I think that's fine too.
I didn't have to work for. Pawns aren't unions.
Yeah,
so
patience
you can just
pays.
make
That's-
them forward, you know.
Do a little setup. Don't just start pushing the king around just because you can't. These are lessons I'm learning.
Yeah, it's from the pawns.
This is though a very uncomfortable position for Shane, I think.
Oh.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, hey.
Sorry about the salt. We
I
get some
think
salty
That was
language
not-
here sometimes,
that was
folks.
an accident. I did not just accidentally
I think Shane realized he just.
You saw it happen, folks. He knocked his
There
king
she
out. It's over.
blows.
Well,
Yeah, that's sometimes you gotta get a little bit of a poker face going in these games because when you scream out "oh no" or something similar, can clue your opponent a little bit. Sometimes maybe they didn't see it, but after that, a lot of times they will.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, it's just an awful feeling when you.
Did we lose Doug?
Oh, is my microphone not working?
Might have cut out there for a second again. Yeah. Okay, so Shane though now, tough position. Looks like okay, he's gonna might just trade down some pieces, but I think that's gonna benefit Joe in the long run.
Yeah, Shane is not in a place to be trading pieces right now. Yeah, it's just such a sinking feeling when you realize you just blew it with the. Try to recover how best you can.
Yeah, it does happen, but yeah, like I said, we're a little bit of chaos chess today, so I wouldn't count anybody out until the game is actually over. Shane takes back with check, probably forcing Joe to do forcing him to do a king move here.
So this takes any castling off the table for Joe, but
yeah, I think that's okay though. Shane really doesn't have any great follow-up moves after that, I'd say. So yeah, I think after this he can kind of start focusing again on attacking the king. Shane's eventually going to run out of threats he can kind of keep him distracted with.
Yeah, that knight's gonna have to bail out, and then I can see Joe starting to get really aggressive after that.
Shane getting more hunched over as this game goes on.
Don't know what I'm doing.
When he does, okay, yeah. There's I didn't see that. A little bit of a escape for that knight. But again, I think the best he can get it out of this is kind of trading more pieces and.
Depending on Joe's response, he could set up a little bit of a. He could set up a stake of.
Oh, sorry. I think the last part of that cut out there again. But yeah, I think you're looking at that. I think you were talking about forks there, and yeah. There's Shane does have those two knights up there, and when you start getting them checking the king, forks do become an option, but
that was that kind of prevented that. So
Really just
Yeah.
for the end zone.
Just QB sneak all day long.
Just I'm going for it. You don't need to do that. You could stay back there. No, it's safer out here in the middle of everybody.
Joe channeling the king's thinking there.
yeah, king really is starting to own the board now. Getting out there, daring Shane. Shane getting kind of a lean to the right developing here.
That just prevented the fork that I think Shane was kind of trying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, defending that pawn, trying to limit Shane's avenues of attack. Oh, and I believe we're getting some mid-game entrance videos here soon, folks. So Stay tuned to your screens for that.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Almost.
Oh, sorry, I thought.
I feel like I'm doing your own strategy answer where now I'm the one
Oh, there we go.
taking too much time considering options.
It's great. I salute you. I'm still vibing.
Well, this is a long walk in from the parking lot.
I think we're leaving. This is opposite of an entrance video so far. Let me see.
Oh, Shane just made a move. Shane moved pawn to what's that? Yeah.
Yeah, E5, yeah. Interesting, we have a en passant opportunity. For those who don't play a lot of chess, there's a rare move you can do where Joe could actually capture that E5 pawn using the E5 pawn using the D5 pawn next to it through a technique called en passant. And it's really fun to do and really confusing if you're new to the game.
Not always the best move, but sometimes it's fun just to do it, just because you can.
Oh man, Shane is just also having a rough time in his entrance.
I think he's getting
dropping
caught by the
things.
Canadian.
Yeah, Canadians are making fun of him. As is normal for him, I believe. Okay, oh, he got the high five. Okay,
Oh, still friends.
peace, makeup. Yeah, there he is. He made it.
Brothers from a common mother. Yeah.
And Joe, yeah.
I was a little lost. It's confusing.
It is. It's a lot of winding paths back there. You know, saying hi to all the people in attendance. There you go. That's
Fans on the sidelines.
that's the scene as our players entered today, or previously. Shane just continuing to lean to the right. I think he might be sitting at that table in the back by the end of this game.
Definite momentum feeling here. It's all Joe's. A little bit of extra gravity.
So he kind of counterattacks the opposing knight. His bishop's under threat, so he could see just a straight trade here, but
It's just as good.
Oh, that's good.
Really can't afford to be trading right now. However,
little view into the mind of Shane.
Keep kids off drugs.
that's fine. Do whatever.
Taking his time with this one. Plenty of time on this. The early game move.
Mm-hmm. And you heard him saying there, I think he realizes that, you know, just trading pieces at this point is not really going to benefit him in the long run. So good tactical viewpoint to have.
Mm-hmm.
He goes for the check.
Oh, goes for the check.
I think that Joe can just recapture here without too much trouble.
Sort of makes a checkmate with that bishop a little bit more challenging, or take a few extra moves with that.
Mm-hmm. I think maybe
The answer is no.
The answer is vibing here, guys.
No.
and then, you know, there might be a few more options for attack open after that, but again, I think just kind of delay moves.
Mm-hmm.
right, so we have Shane on the clock again. I think his current biggest issue is that knight on the G file is under attack by the pawn. But he could also take that bishop, kind of trade minor pieces there. Probably the bigger consideration right now.
But it might be time to retreat and get defensive.
Yeah, I think if I'm Shane right now, I think just retreating the knight, probably to f6. It's not... It was pretty well defended over there for the most part, so I don't think there's too much that knight's going to be able to do in the long run. Probably better just pulling it back, using, like you said, using it for the defense. All right, hope everybody's enjoying. We're coming from 3 Magnus Brewing, Olympia, Washington, Saturday Chaos Chess Edition for Week 3, Season 2 of the Olympia Blunders Chess League. And we do get that minor piece trade we were just discussing.
I'd head for it. Picking up the pace again.
Yeah, series of quick moves there. The Black Knight also sitting undefended now in the middle of the board, so Shane might need to try and do something like that about that, but I don't even know if there's a spot it can move to. I don't think there is.
Yeah, if he pulls back, he can make a move.
I think even
no.
Yeah, the pawn is still.
Would take out.
I think maybe he, if you, I think we were talking about this in the previous game, John and I, maybe just take that C pawn with the knight, at least get something before it dies. Opts to move the king though. I think Joe, a lot of attacking options now. See if, actually there's a, computer finds a mate in 2 somewhere. But yeah, I don't think taking the knight was it. I believe there's probably a combination with the queen and the rook and an attack there that could have forced a mate, but not easy to find for sure.
Yeah, well, not for someone like me who's still in the learning.
I think that move is fine by Joe, though. I think at this point he's got such an advantage, might as well just remove any of the possible risks that are on the board right now.
Just take an easy piece. Easy peasy. Yeah, I at my level, I'd be trying to set something up with the bishop and that queen combination there on that side of the board. Because you've got the rook covering the other side.
Yeah, exactly. I think that rook is key too. I think after taking that f pawn, it's also now attacking the f7 pawn now, and that, taking that with check now is pretty bad as well. So, like you said, queen bishop and that rook together is going to be hard to defend against.
Yeah. Yeah, that pawn is just sitting there on the 7 row. Yeah, there you go. Covered that. He took care of it.
Yeah, that I actually like that a lot for Shane. That's
yeah.
It's a really tough position, but it's a good spot to prevent that rook from kind of encroaching on him.
Yeah.
Joe moving the queen. Looks like he might be kind of positioning for perhaps a final attack. We'll see.
Getting ready. Definitely moving with confidence there.
Yeah, I think he can also get the knight into here as well, if he wants to. Like, I think the bishop and the knight can kind of achieve similar things, supporting the queen.
Mm-hmm. Oh, indeed. Yeah, if he moves that knight to b5.
Yeah, he puts pressure on that C7 square right next to the king. That pawn's defended right now by the bishop, but I mean that bishop's not doing a whole lot else.
But it's Shane's move, and I don't really see anything Shane can do to help himself right here.
Yeah,
get a-
I'm. There's not a lot. I think. Yeah, I think he's kind of running away. I think maybe trying to take shelter over there on the top corner of the board might be what he's looking at right now.
I need my scarf. I need my hat.
Okay, I'm just gonna do this check.
Fine. Great. Whatever. Don't even care.
For the record, pawns are still pieces, okay? Sitting there, I'm gonna lose a piece immediately, and then you throw your pawn out there.
Banter increasing.
Fine, okay.
Perhaps proportionally to the amount that's been drunk from those glasses.
That's right.
So now I think, let's see, do we have it might be mate 2 if Shane's not careful. Here sees a mate 9 somewhere, but that's, a whole lot of precise moves. But yeah, now it is a mate 2. I think that bishop can finally get into play. So check with the bishop. The only thing that Shane could do is interpose with the rook, and then just queen takes. That's the current optimal play for Joe. We'll see if he can find it. Oh, opts to push the pawn. So again, still, that's okay. Still threatening, to get the queen in there, defended by the pawn.
Really sets the trap.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, not quite sure what Shane can even do. I think maybe at this point, if he moves the bishop in front of the king, he might kind of create a temporary escape square. It looks like he just opted to take a pawn. And now Joe, yep, he does.
There it is.
Yep. Well done.
Wow.
Just yeah, well played by Joe. That was similar to Van. Got the advantage at one point and just kind of almost didn't
That
let
really
up.
got away
So
from me.
Stayed aggressive, played solid in the middle
As
of the
soon as
board.
I sacrificed my king or my queen for nothing.
I did that playing against Van, so
Oh,
it happened.
it's really hard to recover from that.
Our games are more fun, okay? Like
Exactly.
We get into this league and anything could happen. You have no idea where the game's going to end up.
heard it from the players. I agree. You have no idea where the games will end up
I
sometimes.
think you get to go first. as far
Absolutely
as
true.
Embarrassing yourself on the internet.
Okay. I think we're gonna full screen these entrance videos before we hear from the players here. This was
Okay, yeah. This is
Shane earlier in the day.
the full entrance from the car to the table.
Yeah, I think perhaps our longest entrance vid yet. Doing something in the backseat there.
What's he getting there? He had his fast food lunch in this mysterious red box.
Yeah. Oh, he's got is that the travel cup?
Oh.
Just astounded. Don't think he anticipated the camera being there. Oh, I missed the little shimmy shake there.
Showing off his finely toned
Finally, he's throwing things.
check out a travel mug.
Ever-present threat. Oh, yeah, the door. Always. Multiple players, I think, have had trouble with the door this season on the entrance vids.
Of course, the bag falls opening down as toast buttered down.
And there we go, Canadian support. And then Joe again here. Yep.
Wrong turn.
Yep. The maze that is Three Magnus Brewing, Olympia, Washington.
There are a couple of tempting hallways. Then.
All right, we've got Shane. Can you hear us okay, Shane?
I can hear you all right.
Tough loss. I think blunders happen. It's too bad. Also a bunny rabbit at the moment. What was after losing the queen? What was? It looked like you were still trying to do some attacks. Was there any particular line of thought you were going with there? Or was it just kind of survival at that point?
It was very much survival at that point. I mean, you saw from my entrance video, I was rattled right from the get-go. Producer Smashly was a little upset with me after Thursday's shenanigans, so he intentionally made sure that I just had the worst possible entrance video.
He's referring to the pants shitting.
Yeah. How was your intestinal fortitude for this game?
Much better. I got a lot of fiber from my Happy Meal there. So, things were fine, as well as they could be, according to my doctor. But yeah, once I lost that queen, I was rattled. At that point, my only strategy was to try to put him in check as many times as possible and just hope that he made a move that somehow put me in a better position to at least set up some sort of capture of some vital pieces, but really worked against me in the end.
Yeah. We got Doug on the mic here too. Doug, question for Shane.
Yeah, Shane, that was a tough game. You did some nice battle, used the middle of the pretty effectively, but I'm wondering if your conditioning right a chess match, that fast food, that was a disadvantage.
I only caught like half of that, but yeah, I'd say the fast food was probably a disadvantage. I didn't have the chocolate milk that came with it, unfortunately, so really didn't get the
maybe that would have helped.
Yeah, didn't get that needed calcium, but we move on. It is what it is. This is the first time that someone's used less of the clock than me, and it really rattled me. I did not use my vocalness as much as I should. Joe really turned the tables on me, and credit where credit's due.
Yeah, there was not a whole lot of friendly game.
No, I mean he was chatting me even before the game went on. He's a nice guy. Really got in my head, and then I just didn't know what to do from there.
Yeah,
it was fun to watch anyway.
Yeah, I think you're still in a pretty good position in the standings overall. So, yeah, hopefully we'll see I don't know what that is.
We got some Pokemon cards to rip.
Oh, okay. Are we doing
We're doing
time to
live
see what's
on
in
air
the pack?
rip. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Pokemon Unwrapping live, folks.
I don't know
A
if you
little
can
extra
see
bonus.
Dragonite right off the bat. I can't pronounce that. Umbreon?
Umbreon. Yeah.
Quiet there. Quack. Oh, I got Charizard. Nice. That one's going to John Ives. Hey, there you go. Charizard. His favorite. All right, that's all for me. Let's get Joe in here, the real winner.
Good game.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks, Shane.
I'm trying a different port with my microphone, so hope.
Oh.
Hi, Joe.
Hey,
Congratulations
how's it going?
on the win.
How are you doing today?
How you feeling?
What was really cool is that a couple weeks ago I lost to somebody doing a pawn queen thing, and I was like, maybe I could do that same thing, and then I did, and it was cool.
Yeah,
I felt
tables
very
turned,
cool.
huh?
I just reviewed my game, and it was like, it asked why I had stopped pressuring the king to capture the knight, and I was like, but that knight was just sitting there. It was so tasty, and it was like, but apparently I was supposed to like focus on the king, which I guess is a thing that people do.
Yeah, no, we were talking about that on stream. Like, it's sometimes those moves that the computer wants you to do aren't easy to find, and I think taking the knight there is completely fine. Just eliminate that pretty much eliminated all of Shane's threats. So,
I mean, I was just being a bully. It wasn't even nice to Shane at that point. I felt kind of bad. It was just like, hey, this guy's not doing anything. Now he's mine. But, you know.
We had a seem like Shane's a little bit of a distractor sometimes in these games. It looks like he had a chain fast food restaurant.
It did look like a prop, didn't it?
He's kind of leaning. He was talking about clothes being, I think, a distraction. Maybe did that affect you at all?
You know, honestly, I'm here for the vibes, and so like, bring it. You know, try to distract me. Let's tell jokes. Let's enjoy ourselves. You know, I finished one beer before the game started. I finished the second playing. Like, life is good right now. So I'm gonna go get another beer.
Ask for much more. A couple beers and a victory, right?
Right. I mean, even the victory part was kind of a bonus. You know, I mainly came for the beer.
Well, there you go. So you're gonna be a winner no matter what. It sounds like
there's no way to lose in this situation, right? Like, I get beer. Also, like, I get to goof off on stream, and nobody's paying me, but they could. You know.
Hint.
Yeah, we're trying to. We were talking about the sponsorship from major fast food companies earlier. I don't know if we can even say their names, so.
It would be useful. Yeah. I would sing their songs on camera. I would do that. I have a talent agency. I made it up myself.
You heard it here, folks. Anybody looking for some ad spots? We got Joe.
I'll do it. I'll sell Japanese cat food if you need me to. I don't even speak Japanese, but I'll do it. You know.
Oh yeah. There you go.
Multi-talented. Bring it.
All
Doug,
right, I'm getting the you're talking too long and stop being funny,
up?
so I'll get off. I'll.
It's okay. We got our producers are, they're doing their best. So.
Yeah, they know when I've overstayed my welcome. I'm okay with that, and I'm gonna stand here for a little bit longer talking about how I've overstayed my welcome. So.
Yeah, I'm fine. We're fine with it. Me and Doug.
Yeah. What are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? Drag me off on camera? That would be funny. So like either way, I win. Okay,
that would be great content.
All right.
Congratulations again, Joe.
Yeah,
we'll hopefully see you soon for some more games.
You know, I'm always down to lose if it ever happens. I seem to be doing really good on stream, but you know.
All right.
See you later, guys.
To watch. That's what matters. Yep.
Bye.
Okay, I think we're going to be getting set up for our next game here. Are we taking a longer break? 3 minutes. Got 3 minutes here. I might be getting more commentators as well. Oh yeah, we're getting Doug. I think is swapping out.
Yep.
Doug,
I'm not gonna paint my kitchen. And
there you go.
While I'm watching this last match.
Turning from commentator back into viewer. Thank you, Doug. Always great to have you on. Yeah.
That was fun. Wyatt, good to see you. Have fun. Looking forward to hearing your analysis.
First place, you boys.
Yeah, we got Wyatt stepping in for the last game. Got a different pairing each game with me here today. Saturday Chaos Chess, Season 2, Week 3, second stream of Week 3. All D4 games, and the coup de grace of today, the top two players tied at the standings lead coming up. Kelsey, producer Kelsey, Canadian Jean-Yves. It's gonna be a fun one. Wyatt, have you got any predictions coming into this game? Have you watched enough of Kelsey and Jean-Yves' games to get a bearing for what you think might happen?
I think if I was a betting man, I would probably bet on Kelsey from what I've seen so far out of their games. But I have also seen more of Kelsey's games, so that might be making me a bit biased towards that one side.
Okay, so we've got Kelsey. I think Jean-Yves has been on a bit of a streak though as well. I think definitely started slow in the first Swiss stage for classifications, but picked it up quite a bit. Oh wait, I think we might be doing a little pregame here with producer Kelsey. Kelsey, I guess it's only fair. We got Jean-Yves a pregame earlier. What are your thoughts? Preparation? Doing anything special coming into this?
I'm drinking a non-alcoholic beer.
Oh, there you go. Which one? This is probably self-care.
This is the- self-care.
Beer of 3 magnets.
Correct. Self-care. It is a Schurler Easiest. It's delicious.
It sounds delicious.
Yes.
Do you feel pressure? This is almost not just for first place, but really for America almost. Is that added pressure? Do you think it's going to make a difference?
No, I'm good. I'm locked in. I'm fine. And
Okay.
Earlier it's like, someone's like, where's your American flag? You're not gonna follow with get a Canadian, his Canadian jersey on right now. Where's your America stuff? And I'm like, that would indicate that I'm proud to be an American right now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there is that.
Look at this guy.
That's true. There's the opponent draped in the leaves and reds. I suppose is what they say. And we're getting ready. Yeah, I think we're about to start. So thank you, Kelsey. Good luck. Here we go. We're gonna do some entrance videos. Here is the Canadian Johnny Eves, wrapped in the flag, just looking cautious, determined. There you go. Whips it off. He's ready.
He lets the flag touch the ground?
There's probably a smaller Canadian to catch it there, I'm guessing.
Oh.
Just off screen, yeah. Kelsey waving to the adoring fans. Ready, prepared, thumbs up. There we go. And yeah, I think we're doing a final setup here, and we'll get started. This is our final game on stream today for first place, or tie for first if they draw.
That is always a possibility as well. How many draws have you had? I don't feel like there's been very many draws.
I'd say we're hitting maybe 5 to 10% of the games are getting draws right now.
Yeah.
I do expect a winner out of this, though, for sure. All right. We're just dialing in the chess.com, getting it all set up. Perhaps doing any Canadian conversions we need to get Johnny Eves all settled. Yeah, here we go. Kelsey playing white pieces for this matchup.
Yeah, so this is just more for fun. And if you want to use the board, you can.
It's always nice to play white. You get that little tempo and you can kind of lead the start of the game out. I definitely enjoy playing white comparatively to playing black. I don't like black very much.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
It's not the case when I first started out, though. When I first started out, I very much preferred reacting to what my opponent was doing. Sometimes that little extra, just being able to just let your opponent make the first mistake, it can be really big when you don't know what in the world's going on in a position.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I tend to play, when I started, I tended to play kind of defensive openings with black. It's kind of feel a little more comfortable doing that sometimes.
Yeah, we started out with white having this big, really powerful center with the double D and E pawn push here, and I really like that. I think in general that's really good chess principles, just take control of the center like that, and on top of that, I think it's just easier to play as a beginner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty quick move so far. Continuing with our 30-minute games. 35 for these live games for little wiggle room for the computer moves. Kelsey doesn't want that knight to get pinned.
Yeah, we were left, of course.
Yeah, that's never a bad move on, especially on the queen's side, in my opinion. You just get that little pawn out there, stop the pen. I'm never against it.
Ooh, queen out already. Perhaps favoring the queen because of being Canadian. I believe still their head of state is a queen, I think. Or it used to be a queen, a king now. Royalty. Canadians more familiar with royalty, apparently.
Unfamiliar grounds for me. I am not. Do not pay much attention to the head of state, Canada. I'll be honest. I do watch some of their hockey, though.
Oh yeah. I believe Jean-Yves ready for the USA Canada Four Nations game right after coming after this.
Well, he should be because their team is crazy good this time around. So I think they should be the betting odds favorite to win that match.
All right, so Kelsey brought the knight out. I think Jean-Yves, if he wants to, can take that e4 pawn.
I believe that to be the case. We'll see if it's spotted. I think it can be here because you're taking it. You move the queen out to pin that knight. So you already had the idea in your head. I think this is kind of findable. We'll see if it's found though. Well, I'm trying to find some other moves. Maybe you develop the bishop here. You're on the black square bishop, and he develops the
knight
out. Hmm.
It's so competitive. It's not even. It's like.
Do you ever get like?
Interesting move. Only the only spot the knight could have gone, but now it's. I feel like it has a little bit of. Oh no, it's gone now. So no need to worry about that knight anymore.
I'm like,
just sweating.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see take back the pawn of the queen here. I mean the queen, but he takes back
the pawn.
I like playing back with the queen there just because if the opponent doesn't play the knight to e2 move, and you can stop them from castling. So or queen e2, one of the two.
Mm-hmm.
Plus you just have that doubled up pawn on the outside, which is going to be a permanent weakness. But at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world.
Kelsey attacking that queen now. We might get that queen maybe moving. No, I guess it probably has to just retreat. I think that's only.
That's how I do phone calls.
That's how I think. I do the same thing on like work calls and stuff.
Yeah, it looks like it is forced to retreat actually to either b6 or d8. Otherwise, you end up losing the queen here.
Yeah, not a lot of options.
Start walking around and actually just
going around.
I guess you could offer a trade on h5, but.
Oh, yep, you're right.
I think black would probably be better off not doing that, though.
Yeah, I don't love a whole lot of this position for black, but we'll see. As long as black gets out their dark squared bishop, maybe retreats the queen back to d8, gets their dark squared bishop and plants it on to e7 and castles, they should be just fine right here.
Mm-hmm.
The good news is that your light squared bishop is already gone, or white's is.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Okay.
Takes the pawn. Probably could, because they're trying to get the pawn to take the bishop here, I'm assuming.
Still, with both minor pieces on the queen side developed, though, the queen is protecting the rook. So I guess two pawns for the bishop probably, but seems like it would give. Seems Kelsey has a little bit of an advantage right now. If she can hold on to it.
Yeah, I think that was the case of some miscalculation.
Yeah. I think sometimes you see similar move to that where, you know, the knight might still be on its starting square on b1 and it prevents that pawn taking back, because then you might lose the rook, but not the case this time.
Yeah, we saw something very similar to that the last time when I was on here when Smashly made a move very similar to that, where it was just a miscalculation of what was available to your opponent, and it happens. I like the creativity though. And I like that we're starting to see some people go for some of these sacks and plays and stuff like that, and the players are starting to really calculate things out a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even if there's like not an immediate, you know, play, sometimes sacrificing with intention, it's a good sign of positive play. We do get that threat now back a little bit on e4, but the queen moves up and defends that as well, so.
It's really interesting because I think the most natural move was black here to go for, as far as just on a pure visual. Looks like b2, so I wouldn't be super surprised if that's played.
Mm-hmm.
It just looks like you're hitting that rook, but the rook can move to b1, hitting the queen. The queen has to back off to a3.
Yeah.
And you have a forced exchange if you're white. You probably don't want to take, because otherwise you get in trouble. If you slid the rook down to b8, that'd be one way that things could go drastically wrong here.
Yep, there's that move. Yep. Yeah, it kind of did feel like the most natural move for if you want to just kind of keep attacking, which Johnny seems like it's looking for attacking moves, which is I like that outlook. Pretty quick response. B1.
I really hope that we do not see a3 and then rook b8 here. That would be tragic. We might though. I don't know. I inherently know if it's super bad, because you can always just move the king up, but putting your king in the center at this stage with this many pieces left on the board is frightening.
Yeah. Johnny does seem like he's running out of kind of a good attacking options there, so Kelsey, I think, might get the tempo back here.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with the queen here, but hopefully we don't see a2. That'd be another mistake I could easily see. You just miss the backwards knight jump and lose the queen while attacking the rook. Keeping your eye on the rook, but hopefully we don't see that. Question is, like, what do you follow up here if the queen moves to a3 if you're white? What's your follow up? Is it maybe just developing the knight, I guess, onto e2 or?
Yeah, I think I like e2. You know, I think it's a good safe move. Kind of protects several pieces at once and then allows you to get the castle in, which I think after that point Kelsey's in really good position, but I think f3 is fine as well. There's a3, pretty much the only option.
I'm really curious to see if Kelsey will slide the rook down to b8. After looking at it a little bit more, I don't inherently think it's losing or anything, but and it looks pretty scary, and you get a lot of material just jammed behind. Instead, you see F, which I think is a great, overall fantastic move. I do think that E2 is slightly better, as you were saying earlier, though.
Yeah, no, either way, I think for Kelsey, it's just the overall picture, stay in a good position. I think, keep working her advantage.
Now, Black has some decisions to make here. I would almost think about pushing the pawn on the A file to A5 to open up the square later for the bishop to come to A6 to get that bishop in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes to the pin of the knight.
Very, very quick moves that E-pawn, which I like the idea of attacking, but I think now Black's a little better at, actually, with now that you can move the knight to D5. Well, better. His knight's better. Kelsey's still with the overall position, but
yeah, especially with that knight pin happening, that looks like a pretty scary position. I think you can just defend it by dropping the bishop back, but if you don't find that bishop drop back move, and you say choose the castle instead, which should be very natural in the position, could get pretty bad. I mean, because that knight's not moving anywhere. If you have to be taken, you're going to be attacking the bishop, which might be White's saving grace, is that with the bishop being attacked as well as the knight, maybe they'll be able to find that solution. It makes it a little bit easier. Sometimes you can end up forcing your opponent to play the right moves to some degree, and that would be like one example.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always nice if is a White response too. Even if that knight wasn't to move there, I don't think that bishop d2 is that bad too, because having those kind of discover moves where now if the knight moves and the queen is still on a5, then you can get extra threats out of that.
Yep, no, 100% agree. We'll see what they choose to do. Maybe the knight to b5 is also an option here, just hitting the bishop. It's not as good, but it's for sure an option.
Mm-hmm.
Chooses to give up the knight.
Interesting. We have our second opportunity of the day, but in this case, I don't think it's worthwhile for Kelsey to go for it.
I don't believe so.
We do love en passants around here, though.
If you were just to magically make the other pawn on d4 disappear, it'd be great. But
yeah. Oh, Kelsey's showing their captured pieces there straight to the camera. Oh, look at that. Wow. Players competing.
Prisoners of war. Unbelievable.
Okay, I think doubles up the pawns, but I think he just has to take that pawn back right here. Pushing g6 does not look that great to me either, so.
Almost certainly. I mean, one move I would consider is that I don't think will ever be played would be to just let him take and castle here, just to get out your king out of the center, and then just play with that pawn sitting there and move your rook on the next move. But that's some psychopathic behavior.
He does push the pawn, but for Kelsey now, I kind of like the idea of working that dark squared bishop behind there, kind of get it protected by the pawn, and yeah, that would just be incredibly annoying to deal with. Kelsey with options. I think just castling here too would be, yeah, that's what she does.
Yeah, I wonder if we're going to see a lollipop checkmate here, because this is the right position for it, which if you want to know what that is, it's just when the queen comes to G7 with the pawn sitting on D6 there.
Mm-hmm. Kelsey with a strong advantage now.
Black's got to come up with something. I think maybe just castling would be something that you could do. I'm not seeing much else with that bishop staring down on the square to B8 and your bishop sitting there. I think you got to try to castle and get your bishop out of the way and connect your rooks.
It's okay because I'm pretty sure Team Canada will beat Team USA later, so even if I lose, I'll feel like a winner.
I support that.
We're probably gonna lose.
Johnny's already looking on for bright spots.
Hey, when your board doesn't look very good, that's just the way it goes.
Do you want us to talk? We're just talking shit over here about Canada and US.
Earlier, the owner of Three Magnets told Johnny that he had to 15% upcharge him on beer because of the tariffs.
Told you he's gonna charge you more for beer.
Yeah, like I've had 3 beers and it was like $72.
That is not true. It's not that expensive here.
No, it was
they have great. They have great deals here. Don't worry.
I don't know. Cheaper in Canada and the beer's stronger.
Little banter. Don't worry, folks. Canadians and Americans all welcome at Three Magnets Brewing, Columbia, Washington. All right, Johnny's
yes,
on
that
a
was
clock here.
That was a joke about the tariffs, just to be clear. Three Magnets owner is awesome.
Okay, well, moves the queen up.
It's tough. I can tell that Black really wants to just keep attacking, but it's unfortunately just not working out for him.
Kelsey quickly moves the other rook over, which I think now at this point,
C4 is the only way.
C4, yeah, to offer the queen trade.
Which is a depressing move to make as Black, but I know a lot about that. My most recent game against John, I had to do something very similar where I was down a minor piece and had to. I went for an idea, and then he found a move that made it to where I had to trade queens, and I was very upset with myself.
I suppose Jean-Yves could go for just the pawn push to C4 too. I don't think that's any better. Same result, probably.
How did I miss that?
Oh,
yeah.
That changes everything.
Oops, yeah.
Technically, you could land back on F.
That's why
I
I'm
kind
gonna
of like
lose.
it though. It keeps the aggressive part of the position. If he takes, you take the queen, you double up the pawns on that side. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think the advantage to that pawn push is that if Kelsey doesn't want to trade queens, there is now a retreat square back on F8. So.
Yeah, no, I actually kind of like it. There's not much progress that can be made on that side other than to maybe trade the rook. It's not an idea that I spotted initially and plays the much more natural move.
Yeah, agreed. This is what I would have foreseen as well. But again, I think Kelsey kind of dictating whether the queens are going to be on the board at this point with that rook move. So
yeah, I do like the pawn move better. I think that's a better try when you're down material massively, to try to get that pawn as forward as you possibly can in hopes that your opponent messes up
Mm.
He's old.
It'll be interesting to see if Kelsey trades. I know a lot of times we get into kind of positions like this where there's a queen trade possible on the board, and some of the I know D4 players a lot of times they value their queen a lot and won't necessarily, even if they're up material otherwise, sometimes they like to hold on to their queen. So
you got to be really careful. Okay, good. You got the defense of the knight, because that's what I was worried about. You don't trade queens here. There's really only a couple ways to defend that knight.
I should play my other pieces.
But you'd still have pawn takes here. I wonder if we're going to see a pawn takes d4 here, attacking the knight.
Considering the other attack, yeah. Considering the other attacking moves we've seen, I feel like that we're going to see that pawn take. Oh, I think we got a push. He pushes the H pawn. Okay.
And you just see the attacking style, Gene, versus Kelsey's much more guarded style of play is very evident in this game. King just deciding to let their king. Gene decided to let king just hang out to dry there.
So now does Jean-Yves have a response to knight e5 attacking the queen? Does the queen really have any outlets at this point?
I don't think so. I think that does just win the queen for a knight, probably.
You ever feel like you're playing other people?
Oh, no. You move to d4, taking with the queen.
Your games are especially.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Because, you're right. Okay.
You don't know what you're doing? You ever get that? I'm like, figure this out.
Well, and then also, but like watching the playbacks and stuff is always just like.
What about rook a4? Guarded by that knight there?
Yeah, that might work.
I think that does work.
Yeah, sometimes it just feels like you can trap a piece if you find the right move. Kelsey, though, moving the bishop down to the 7th rank there.
I cannot say I fully understand that move. I'm trying to figure out why.
Don't have your children watch this, please, because we are swearing all the time.
We cannot be responsible for what is or not.
Correct. By the way, he just said, fuck.
Nice.
I already set it up for good. Don't have
Right.
your children watch this.
Yeah. At this point, the children are gone.
Players are trying to get us demonetized.
Yeah, we try to be family friendly around here, but live chess from a bar. Can't promise anything.
That is the truth. I am not. It's really tough to just make moves black in this position.
Yeah. I think, earlier, I think you're right. There could have been possibilities of doing that castle, but now with that H pawn pushed up, that mate would just be almost immediate if Kelsey wanted to do it. So I feel like the castle's now off the board. Maybe at this point, just keep pushing those. Well, I mean, I think you got to defend the queen, really. So yeah, maybe the taking that d pawn now. It's just do that. You attack the bishop at the same time.
Yeah, I like that move a lot. You hit the bishop, you hit the knight with the pawn. Maybe win a little bit of material back here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there's not like a super obvious move either for. Oh, he does castle. Ooh.
Now
I think is that a mate in 2?
Yes,
or mate in 3. I guess there's a delay trick.
Oh,
but yeah, I mean, essentially a mate in 2. If Kelsey can find it. I think sacking the queen would be the only move Jean-Yves could do.
Oh yeah, so you could sack the queen on F1. Yeah.
Oh yeah, she sees it. She sees it.
Brutal.
Ooh, yeah.
The lollipop.
With the grin at the camera too. Ooh.
That's tough. Newcastle was trying to protect your king, get it out of the center of the game, and it falls prey to mate immediately. It was a trap all along.
Oh, showing off the night at least. One final piece off the board before Kelsey gets the mate. Well played. Good vision by Kelsey at the end there.
Absolutely fantastic stuff. You get that pawn in there, you have the idea sitting there the whole time, and then you get it feels good.
Mm-hmm. I believe we're gonna get interview with Jean-Yves. Getting set up here. Hi, Jean-Yves. How you doing?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
No,
Well,
actually, I don't
we
want
can talk
this.
about hockey if you want.
Yes. Well, now they have
What's
to
your-
win. They have to win now.
What's your prediction for the hockey game?
I have none. It's all against. Can I have a beer? Anyone.
Any beer, any hockey?
I'm upset. I was doing so well. I'll leave.
It was, yeah. I think early on it was it was a lot of good fun play. Good, sounded like good banter too. Do you think the banter was pretty good between you two?
You guys heard that?
Oh, we pick up a little bits here and there.
Well, sorry about that.
We got Wyatt in the booth for this last game. Wyatt, do you have any questions for the Canadian?
What's the score of the hockey game? What are we looking at? We're looking at a 4-2. Like, what's your margin there?
You know, I texted my buddy who's he knows all the stats and the GPAs and all that stuff of all the hockey players, and he thinks Canada's going to lose, but revenge in the final. Right? So that's disheartening a little bit, seeing as I lost a chess match and I don't really have much to fall back on today, but I think Canada's going to take it by 1.
You heard it.
Oh, do you mean the
Here.
chess game or the hockey game?
The hockey game.
I was asking about.
Oh, yeah. I think they'll take it by 1, but it's going to be good. It's going to be a
Think
barn
they'll
burner.
That's fantastic. I've watched some of the highlights. I have every intention to watch some of that game tonight, and I think Canada is going to win, even though I want the U.S. to win. So
It's going to be good no matter what. Like, both teams are stacked. Isn't it funny we're talking hockey when I just lost a chess match?
Yeah, we've been talking a lot of chess, and maybe people want to hear about hockey. You know?
Maybe. How many people are watching right now?
Oh, I don't know.
Or
Lots. Let's just say there's lots.
like a handful or like 2 handfuls or
Yeah,
10.
probably
10.
a handful.
I'm told 10 by the producer over here.
2 handfuls. All right.
So going maybe a little bit of chess talk here. You came down away game versus Kelsey. Does she owe you a Canada visit, an away match in response? Do you think that's fair?
That's true. That's true. I did travel for this game. Nothing else. That'd be fun. That'd be fun. Yeah. Let's set it up.
Okay. We'll put some pressure on producer Kelsey.
Yeah. Well, you guys have a place to stay.
There you go. Arrangements already being made.
I mean, we have only 1 spare bedroom, but like everybody can stay in it.
Yeah.
Was that game like brutal, or did we do okay, or?
No, I think, like you said, Kelsey got an advantage. I think she just did a really effective job at kind of, maintaining it. Like, there's only so much you can do sometimes. And I think your response was pretty good in general. But, yeah, it happens. It was a fun game to watch, though.
My strategy is just to get it all out there and just be a thorn.
Yeah.
Nothing more.
Well, oh, yeah. Why? Anything else? What?
I just say that I like the way you play chess. I love attacking chess, and you just full send it out there. So
based on no skill at all.
Nah. Takes skill to play attacking chess as well.
Yeah, we.
Awesome. Well, I think we're maybe going to do Kelsey. Enjoy your hockey match. You're still in second place, I believe. Yes, solo second place in the league. Still plenty of games to play, so I expect we'll see a good response from you.
All right, sounds good.
All right, thanks, Eddie.
Johnny, throw it back on and do a French tangent.
John, French tangent.
Throw it back on and just go off in French. No, do it. It's funny. Do it.
Do it now?
Do it.
Tabarouette, j'ai perdu à chess maudit. D'habitude, je travaille au checkers, mais là chess, c'est totalement différent. C'est même pas drôle. Salut.
There you go, folks. You heard it. I heard it too. I'm not quite sure what I heard, but Canadian, Johnny. Now we're getting Kelsey.
I'm glad we have
gotta reposition that mic after that.
He's not a sore loser whatsoever.
Congratulations. Very well played. I think, we were talking, once you got that advantage, you just kind of kept on top of it and kind of wore him down. It worked out really well. So you feel pretty good?
I'm pretty happy right now. He's over here. He's so mad at me. He just wants to keep throwing stuff. Anyway, yeah, no, it was great. I think there was one point where I had an opportunity to go up and move my rook up to his queen, where I would have forced. I mean, his queen would have been gone, but I chose to do the bishop instead because I'm like, at this point, I think he's going to castle, and he did. And it was great. It worked out for
okay,
me.
we were talking about that, yeah, because the queen was getting in the position where it had very few spaces to go. You might have been able to trap it, but good to know that you were actually looking at that. Yeah, that mate threat there.
The chess brain is evolving. It's actually happening somehow.
Wyatt, did you have any chess questions for Kelsey?
Well, that was my one question of why she moved the bishop there. So yeah, that rook spot is actually. I didn't even think about that you could go for that as long as it's not castles, because I thought you were for sure it was going to be that rook move, or an offer to trade the queens again or something along those lines.
Right.
So that's really excellent. Vision on the board.
It's that in person recognizing how he might make this next move. there's an advantage to playing in person. I like it. He's like, oh no.
So we also asked Jean-Yves. He traveled. This was an away game for him. Does he get the courtesy? Are you going to go to Canada for the reverse matchup?
I would go to Canada. I have not been to Canada in over 2 decades. That'd be fun. I'm overdue.
Well, there you go.
I'm overdue. For chess, be a good example.
Possible road Olympia blunders matchup, sounds like.
That would be really fun. I'm on board. I got to figure that out. Well, people talk. That'd be cool. Anyway.
It sounds like things are getting a little silly. Hockey's probably going to be starting soon, so again, congratulations. It was a really fun game to watch. So we'll see you soon, Producer Kelsey.
Hey, shout out to Ashley for all of his chaos, and Funk and Wyatt for being here, and Doug earlier too,
and John.
And John.
That's right. John was in the first one.
We had, yes. Thank you. Yeah.
Trifecta.
Thanks, everybody. We had I'm Funk. We had Doug for match 2, John for match 1, Wyatt for match 3, producers for all matches. We had players. We had fun. We had memories. And we had chess. Even a Canadian. So thanks for joining us. Three Magnets Brewing, special Saturday broadcast. Join us almost every Thursday. We're doing these chess streams live. Three Magnets Brewing. Thanks for joining us. And Wyatt, any last words before we head out?
Let's go USA. Let's beat the Canadian hockey team. That's all I'm going to say. I'm out.
Awesome. Go watch hockey, people. Thanks.